All right, I just found out I cannot go live for some strange reason, so I'm going to record this and post it. Evolution of African music, fourth quarter notes. Spirituals, gospels, blues, minstrel shows, jazz, rhythm and blues, soul, funk, and hip hop. So here we go. These are the word wall words. Now, these words will be used. As a matter of fact, your next week's assignment will be involving these words. So you will see this slide again. This slide has already been connected on your Microsoft Teams and has already been sent out. These are some of the wonderful things that we did together. Hyperbole, simile, metaphor, and personification. And what we did was we took each of those particular literary devices and tried to figure out which songs use them. For extra credit, if you would like to take the other words that are on this sheet and begin doing those definitions and coming up with at least 4 songs that utilize those terms or actually demonstrate the concept, you are welcome to do so. Fourth quarter assignments. Assignment number 3. Assignment number 3 involves you doing a, philosophical chair preparation. So what I want you to do is prepare 4 separate arguments where you restate, refute, and respond. So that means you're going to argue as a pro, meaning you're for it, pretend as if someone responds, restate their argument, refute it, and respond to it. And you're going to do that twice. If you do not understand that, then just simply follow these directions simply and argue for pro or for con, 4 separate arguments. Now, the American minstrel show developed in the 1840s were musical variety style entertainment that featured ragtime music, soft shoe, sand dance, popular songs, comedy sketches, clowns, and tap dancing. These shows embodied racial hatred. Both Caucasian and African American performers donned blackface and spewed hateful commentary about stereotypes and exaggeration of the African American community for the entertainment of a racially mixed audience. White men enjoying using Negro dialect, quote unquote, and African men reinforcing ignorant nonsense speech as their own when acted in these shows. It was America's first form of musical. Pure-blind bigotry created this show where white men blackened their face with burnt cork to make fools of Negroes and make light sentimentalized the nightmare of slave life on southern plantations. So this is where minstrel shows started. Terms like jigaboo and so many other terms, pickaninny, etc., came during this time, if you've ever heard any of those terms. This buffoonery of African Americans showed African Americans as naive, idiotic, and animalistic. The African American was seen singing, dancing, smiling, chitlin gobbling, watermelon eating, and white massa loving people that were more content with slavery than a freedom that they could not handle. Jim Crow was born from this corrupt art form as a minstrel character often used in shows and later adapted as a title for the complex system of racial laws that enabled white social, legal, and political domination over African Americans in the southern United States. Please be aware that there are several purposely placed grammatical as well as spelling errors and word usage errors inside of this reading. If you find them, please write extra credit on the bottom of your page where you have your 4 arguments that you present, your pro or your con. Remember again, 4 separate arguments, pro or con. These negative images of African Americans did not have some elements of African American culture in them. However twisted and distorted, the overall effect was to the American psyche. Minstrelsy was the first example of the way American popular culture would exploit and manipulate African Americans and their culture to please and benefit Caucasian Americans. So this is why many African Americans have issues with certain nonsense and whimsical characters that are created that continue to exacerbate the issue of fully understanding African American culture, and different shows that show bigotry, that show African Americans as idiotic, buffoons, bugging their eyes out, looking as if they are ignorant, idiotic, naive, or animalistic. This is the title. Statement of contention. Minstrel shows were good for African American culture because it allowed the spotlight of America on certain important issues in the African American community. Do you agree or disagree? Now, as opposed to us dividing up in teams due to the issue that I'm having with this wonderful thing called YouTube, what I want you to do is simply pick pro or con and come up with 4 separate arguments where you restate, refute, and respond. Let me give you an example. If I was pro, meaning I agreed that minstrel shows were good for African American culture, I would say minstrel shows were good for African American culture because it allowed Caucasians and other African Americans to fully understand how sad, how depressing being enslaved truly was. A refute would be, no, instead of showing how sad or depressing slavery was, minstrel shows actually demonstrated a kind of silliness or happiness about slavery. Response would be, it wasn't a happiness that it demonstrated, but it showed the undominable effect that slavery had, the dominating effect that slavery had on African Americans, but it showed how strong African Americans truly are. So again, you restate the argument, you refute it, and you respond to it. We've done this before in class. Please look back at your notes if you have access. If not, again, you restate with 1 sentence, you refute with 1 sentence, and you respond with 1 sentence. You can look up the definition of the word restate, refute, and respond with any dictionary, or you can go online. I hope you have a better understanding of this assignment. I'd like to show you the extra credit. These, extra credit number 2, this assignment uses those word wall words. Please use those word wall words. They will come back to you. For the last assignment, it will be similar to my final exam, and I'll be sending that out to you very soon so that you can get started on it early. Excuse me. The last extra credit assignment also uses those word wall words from that first slide. And it's called extra credit number 3, find out a fact. So please feel free to use any of the extra credit opportunities. Please feel free to contact me on Microsoft Teams if you need me, if you still do not comprehend or understand the assignments. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and amazing, healthy, and joyous celebration of life as you continue to be healed, as you continue to be fulfilled, as you continue to love those that you love, and have this wonderful time with them. Peace.